Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Barriers Now. I'm your host, Jody Watkins, and I am the founder of this amazing podcast that I'm truly, truly grateful to have. So, where did all this come from, and why am I keeping it going? Well, here's the thing, we all have a story. And in my own journey, I learned that people saw me, but they didn't see the story behind me. They didn't see the years of heartache and anguish and everything that I had to go through to get where I am today. Now, I still have a long way to go, but I started this because in my heart, I knew deep down that yes, my story matters. But because we all have one, I wanted to have a platform where other people could come on and also share their story. Because I know that the more we come together, the more we can resonate with other people and actually provide hope to the greater masses, and the more we share, the more we're able to really help people in ways that we probably never even realized we could. So that's why the show started. Now, it has transitioned from one thing to another, but the mission and the purpose has always stayed the same. So here we are wrapping up another year, and we're wrapping up a year of this podcast. And I just want to thank everyone for tuning in, for sharing the show, for messaging me, for being a guest on the show. I really want to thank everyone. I've had so many great guests this year. I started out with, some of the To Be Epic coaches who have transitioned and gone on to become their own business owners, and that's great. I love it. That means the mentorship got them somewhere and they were able to continue. So I've had, Lindsay, she does a lot with nutrition and she had her amazing backstory. I had Jamel, he has his backstory, how he came from, being in prison to helping people with their health and being able to just be that person that people can rely on. I've had Joanne Richards, I've had Hannah Kari, I've had people from all over the world come on to this show to share their stories. And I really, really deeply hope that everyone out there who's been listening has connected with the person who really resonated with them and just continue to follow that person. Everyone that's come on the show is still doing amazing things. I have kept in contact with everyone, and I'm just really glad to see how everyone can, bring their story into what they do and have that positive impact on those around them. As for me, I'm still on this wonderful journey as well called life, and I'm learning, how to navigate things that I can't even plan for. And as someone who habitually used to teach people how to, have the plan and be that, be able to go with the plan and have your time slots written down and things like that, I've really had to learn how to have everything written down and have the plan, but also know how to shift and how to kind of bring the plan forward to where at the end of the day, I'm not stressed if I didn't get it all done. And I'm not looking at the negatives, I'm actually looking at the positives. What did I accomplish? And oh, by the way, if I didn't get A, B, and C done, what did I do in place of A, B, and C that still made it a productive day? So I really hope that makes sense with everyone out there. Now, I get the question a lot, Jody, what got you started in nutrition coaching and personal training and health coaching? And I wanted to just share just a little bit with you because breaking barriers is more than just the here and now. Breaking barriers stems from things that we grew up with, it stems from things that we've endured in our lives, and it stems from the purpose and what's inside of us and how we are able to break through our own barriers in order to actually do good in the world. So I just wanted to start just by explaining a little bit. I've become more open in talking about this recently. It was very uncomfortable for me to talk about for a long time because To be quite honest, I had a lot of guilt and shame behind it. I felt like I had not been there when I needed to be there. And so it was really hard for me to talk about what actually got me started in all this, which was being a caregiver for my mother. So back in 2005, I had been in the Air Force for 5 years by that point. I joined the Air Force from Jacksonville, Florida, which is where I reside now. And as I left Jacksonville, I was really just running from everything. I had just had an abortion. I had just got out of a really hard relationship that I screwed up. But at the end of the day, I had never looked back at the trauma that I had endured in my life that didn't allow me to trust other people and kept me in survival mode. So I talk about that a lot now. So in 2005, I found out that I got orders to England. And for me, that was amazing because I always just wanted to go overseas and do things and see things. So I got this instructor position in England. I was able to, get myself out there through the military. And I really just grasped it all. I worked really hard. I was always a hard worker. And I was playing basketball still and just doing all the things. I also got married that year, at the end of that year. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I was ready for that, but that's okay. We're still married to this day, and it is a lot of hard work there too, but we're still not quitting and we're still going. So, anyway, a couple years after getting to England, now I knew my mother already had multiple sclerosis. She got diagnosed with that in 2003. She had a lot of other health problems, health issues going on. But I couldn't stop my own life for that. However, on her birthday in 2007, it was February 2nd, 2007, I get a call. And I don't remember honestly if I called her because, I was in England and it was her birthday, so I probably called her. But she told me that she found out that she was HIV positive. Now, that was a whole new ballgame. That was something that I had never dealt with before in my life. And I honestly didn't know how to help her. And I kind of went into panic mode. So as I was dealing with my own issues and my husband had just got to England, we'd been separated by orders for the first year of our marriage, I had to move. And I had to go where I didn't really want to go, which was Georgia. I wanted to go to Tampa, Florida, but the Air Force couldn't place my husband and I there. So we ended up in Georgia. Fast forward, I'm taking care of my mother at this point. I'm working night shift on the flight line, which is what I did. I was avionics technician specialist. So I worked on the flight line and I would get off of work. I would go straight to Jacksonville, Florida, which was a 2-hour drive. I would take my mom or take care of her. I would take her where she needed to go, take her to her doctor's appointments, take her to go pick up prescriptions, whatever that looked like. And then I would drive the 2 hours back. I would take a nap, and then this just kept going. So I did this for 2 years up until she passed away in 2009. Now, during that time, I also had to learn how to use nutrition to kind of get her off of some of her medications. The medications were making her suicidal. They were making her delirious. They were really just taking her down, the side effects of them. Also, she was on Medicaid, and so she didn't have the best insurance, which made things a little bit harder as well. I was not there when she passed away, and it took me a really long time to forgive myself for that. Now, I will say she and I didn't have the best relationship when I was growing up. She was an alcoholic, and she married someone who beat her up on a regular basis, to be quite honest. There was drugs, there was alcohol. My friends weren't able to come over to the house. I really just felt like a loner most of my life. And I was an only child also. But that's okay. I still needed to take care of my mom. When she passed away, I was taking finals for physician assistant school, and I wasn't there, like I said. I was also pregnant. And it really just took a toll on me that I never even realized. But I will say during that time, not only did I learn nutrition, but I learned how to use nutrition in place of medications. I took pharmacology. I also learned how to exercise her with multiple sclerosis. I learned a lot about strength training. I learned a lot about, just the motion of the body and how our bodies work. And so then I went on to become a certified personal trainer, certified group fitness instructor, certified nutrition specialist, and a certified health coach. The certified health coach came in because habits are important. And most people just try to go all in, but that's not what we're here to do. We're here to slowly and steadily replace habits. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside if you're still dealing with demons in your mind. And that's where I was. So fast forward, I have since asked for help. I went into therapy last year. I did what's called EMDR therapy, which is trauma therapy. And that is what propelled me into who I am today. I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder, chronic depression, and complex PTSD. I don't accept those diagnoses, and I don't allow those diagnoses to be my title of who I am. I accept them, and I am more aware of how they affect me on a daily basis, which is where we all have to get to. It's awareness. So I am here because I love to help others be able to overcome everything in their lives and become the healthiest version of themselves. But it's mind, body, and soul. It's not just what you look like on the outside. It's everything. It's building the new foundation. It's allowing yourself to forgive yourself for any mistakes that you may have made. It's allowing yourself to lift those mental burdens that can weigh you down more than any amount of physical weight ever will. That's what breaking barriers is. That's how we continue. And I'm really grateful for all of you who continue to listen and continue to share. Thank you for all of my guests who continue to come on the show to help me keep this going. Thank you to my person, my angel, my blessing on the back end of the show, who I get to just send the write-ups to, and he makes it happen. Thank you to everyone who has supported me and given me tough love when I needed it the most, because now I get to do that for others in ways that I never imagined being able to do. I can now say that when I am coaching someone, if I am triggered by anything, I am able to work through those triggers. I am aware of them and I accept them, and I am able to be genuine and authentic and talk freely about my triggers. I don't allow any of it to define who I am. And I hope, truly hope, that you don't allow it either in your life. So again, thank you for tuning in this year. I look forward to seeing what 2023 has for us. God bless you, and always, always, always embrace the journey.